The most cringeworthy moments on Dr. Phil. There's no doubting that Dr. Phil has hosted some of the most controversial guests on his shows, including accused paedophiles and fallen stars. Some of the moments of this so-called interview of guests are certainly cringeworthy and jaw-dropping nonetheless. So with that said, here are some shocking and rather obscene moments. Leave a like right now. Also, subscribe and turn on notifications. If you have left a like on the video and subscribed to the channel, also leave a comment saying, "I subscribed," and I'll reply to as many of you as I can, saying thank you. The Shelley Duvall controversy. Dr. Phil was sure taken aback when he found out that he would be hosting the show in November with Shelley Duvall on it. The teasers of the episode seemed to show the sequestered actress in mental distress. In fact, Vivian, the daughter of Ronan Farrow and Stanley Kubrick, even called in viewers so that the particular episode could be boycotted. However, even after all their efforts, the show still went on to air, and Duvall said that she believed that the late Robin Williams was not really dead, but shape-shifting, and shared her fears of being threatened by the Sheriff of Nottingham. Duvall only appeared on the show to plead for help. Nick Gordon's meltdown. With the tragic death of Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina Brown, in 2012, her boyfriend, Nick Gordon, a suspect of a police investigation at the time, appeared bedraggled on the show, seemingly drunk and under the influence of drugs. He revealed that since his girlfriend died, he didn't seem to care about anything, and that he is out of control and had suicidal tendencies. He mentioned that if he's left on his own, he would die in a couple of weeks. Burke Ramsay. The murder of John Bennett Ramsay has been an unsolved mystery since 1996, and her brother, Burke Ramsay, was only 9 when he was considered a prime suspect. So he decided to appear on the show to join in a discussion with Dr. Phil about the chilling morning his 6-year-old sister's body was found. During the talk, he recalls his mother searching his room, calling out for her daughter. Viewers' comments on the talk revealed a weird smile on Burke's face during the interview. So Burke responded by saying that he will never do another TV interview ever again. Cannibal Killer. Austin Harif, also known as the Cannibal Killer, had murdered John Stevens and his wife Michelle Mishcon while they just sat there watching TV in their garage. And his father, Dr. Wade Harif, came on the Dr. Phil show to discuss the reasons behind this brutal murder. It seems that the college student murdered them and then ate parts of their bodies. Dr. Harif said that this kind of behavior was abnormal for his son, and that he is the nicest and kindest, caring kid he has ever known. He went on to say that his son always wanted to help people, and that he must have had some sort of psychological breakdown for him to commit such an act. Courtney. Courtney is an attractive 17-year-old that came on the show about body image. She said that she was required to undergo plastic surgery in order to date, and Dr. Phil promised to get one done on her for her sake. However, he said that she needed to find her authentic self before she could have one. However, she put off all plans of surgery when she realized the fact that how she looks from the outside wouldn't matter as long as she felt good on the inside. Did Phil dethrone this drama queen? The show was about drama queens, and Cy described her life as a mix of Carrie from Sex and the City, Ally from Ally McBeal, and Joan from Girlfriends. But she had a problem of a life filled with drama, which was created by herself and prevented her from finding her soulmate. Rochelle checks back in with Phil. Dr. Phil has said that Rochelle became a poster child for controlling people in America. Rochelle used to keep a close eye and a tight control over her husband John's behavior. Dr. Phil, in a follow-up episode, revealed how their life had changed and how healthy she had become by losing a lot of weight. Dr. Phil went on further to state that she was looking for an agent. See how Eliza's household has changed. Eliza appeared on the Obsessed with Food episode of Dr. Phil and admitted that she weighed every single piece of food she and her family ate because she felt that food was the enemy. However, her obsession with food was really a cover for what she really wanted to control, and that was how she felt about herself. Heather, a shameless flirt. Heather was a world-class flirt who first appeared on Ask Dr. Phil segment to discover how to make women feel more comfortable around her. Later, however, on an episode about flirts and teasers, she was confronted by a member of the audience who thought that she wanted to be intimidating to other women. How is Matthew doing today? Matthew weighed a whopping 400 pounds and appeared on part 2 of the My Big Fat Attitude episode of Dr. Phil. On the show, he was asked by Dr. Phil to take a litmus logic test to see whether he was lying to himself about his weight, and also to see the effect it had on his health and life. Rod's addiction. When Rod appeared on the show, he admitted to overeating and spending. As pointed out by Dr. Phil, Rod seemed to have self-esteem issues. During a follow-up with him, viewers saw that he was taking care of his weight, health, and spending issues. He says that the show has made him realize that it is okay to feel good about oneself. Ed and Ginger, living beyond your means. Viewers of Dr. Phil were recently asked to vote online for their all-time favorite guest couple, and one of them, named Ed and Ginger, won by a huge margin. They appeared on the Living Beyond Your Means episode, took Dr. Phil's advice, re-engineered their lifestyle, and explained it in a follow-up. Violent kids. Scott and Carolyn seemed to seek out help from Dr. Phil with regards to their 12-year-old son Nathaniel, and said that he was very violent, that he choked them, broke their windows, and stabbed knives into the kitchen counter. They were very afraid that he would hurt someone one day. In January of that year, Nathaniel's parents had to call the police, and they warned Nathaniel about what would happen if he were to go down that path again. Nathaniel heeded the words of the police and sought to change himself for the better. He has been working so diligently ever since that his parents are proud of him, although they are still working to correct his sarcastic behavior. Nathaniel is now a changed boy, is in his 8th grade, and has won honorary awards from his school such as the Star Student of the Year Award, Principal's Honor Roll, and not to mention responsibility and awards for perfect attendance. What's more, he is now a volunteer at the family's church, VBS, too, and is loved tremendously by all the younger children as he has been a great mentor to them. Parents of other children also seem to walk up to Scott and Carolyn to thank them for Nathaniel being nice to them. Nathaniel is now getting ready for high school and has even started freshman football. Multiple problems that Keith and Carmen faced. Keith and Carmen sought help from Dr. Phil as they were in and out of a relationship several times for over 20 years. They were reconsidering getting married for the 3rd time, and Dr. Phil told them what they needed to do. Now they say that Dr. Phil's advice was quite helpful and practical, and that he said that they first begin healing by putting together a list of the issues they have and solving them one at a time. The problems included in-law problems, co-parenting problems, and not to mention the overall communication between each other. He then suggested waiting for a remarriage and sorting out all the problems they had first. They are currently 1/3 through counselling sessions with Dr. Phil and seem to be communicating better as they continue to work on a better relationship. The children are starting to like these new communication strategies and are happy to see Mom and Dad in collaboration with united responses. Both husband and wife are finally starting to listen to each other and also seem to understand each other's perspectives very well. Dr. Phil's Get Real retreat, Kelly. Kelly had asked for Dr. Phil as she could not get over the guilt and anger of her father's suicide, and Dr. Phil came through for her by helping her deal with her emotions. Kelly's family seemed to be normal while she was growing up. There was no case of addiction, divorce, or any such things, and both parents were very loving, caring, involving, and supporting of their daughter. Kelly says that her father had a heart of gold. However, just a few years ago, he seemed to be fighting depression for a few months, and then the unthinkable happened. He committed suicide. She realized then, after the talk with Dr. Phil on his Get Real retreat, that the pieces of her puzzle could be put together again, and she would have the will to survive a battle which was thought to last for a lifetime. After the retreat session with Phil, she wrote a letter to her father, putting all the anger and frustration into it in order to get rid of them. She now feels that it is her duty to help writers on whatever it is they are writing, be it a letter to a loved one, an apology letter, or a letter to oneself. Despite many people telling her that they are not writers, she believes that each and every individual can be one with a little guidance. Number 1 complaint about my spouse. Robert and Elizabeth sought help from Phil because Robert would keep her up all night by snoring, and Dr. Phil aided them by providing them the means for a corrective surgery. Elizabeth has said that their experience on the Dr. Phil show was amazing and exciting. She even said that she was surprised to find Dr. Phil down to earth when they met him. After the show, Dr. Phil informed them of what they could expect, and they were not let down. They never even would have imagined that being on the Dr. Phil show would have such an impact on their lives, but it did. So, Instead of being roommates, they now share a room together. And the tension that was looming in the house has been down ever since the surgery. Robert has now lost weight, is eating healthy, and the whole family is beginning to socialize more often. In fact, he has lost over 8 pounds. He now feels more energetic and relaxed and doesn't seem to be grumpy anymore. Also, he has started playing the drums again. Now, thanks to Dr. Phil, the couple's life has changed for the better, and they share their experience as wonderful and life-changing. So, to sum it all, the Dr. Phil show sure had some cringe-worthy moments to show off. Sure, there are some others worth mentioning, but these were some of the most exciting ones. Not to mention that Dr. Phil has had some noteworthy guests on his show who are sort of like characters on their own. But nonetheless, he is no doubt a great psychologist. Now, a few of you out there might doubt that, but it is nevertheless true. Whatever the case may be, Dr. Phil is here to solve all your life problems through his advice and counseling.